Hello, and welcome to Tank Tops and Sweaters. Today, Kelly and I are going to be talking about the New Year's resolutions, the habits, the goals, the pressures that we put upon ourselves to accomplish and or don't accomplish throughout the year. But Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New
Welcome
Year.
to 2023. I cannot believe we're already there.
It's crazy.
I still reference everything to before 2020. So everything
Yeah,
is like 2019 and before.
right.
Like after 2020, it's like,
You
wait,
don't even know what day it is, what year it
right,
is.
right. Like, wait, what? It's 2023. How did
Yeah,
we get here? That's so crazy.
exactly.
Let's
Exactly.
talk about those New Year's resolutions, those goals that we tend to make. Not saying here that it's a bad thing to do that or that you shouldn't do that. I think for a lot of people, it works extremely well and they are very successful at accomplishing those. But for a lot of other people, I feel like it's just unnecessary pressure that we put upon ourselves, almost really borderlining that perfectionism of
Yeah.
trying to perfect ourselves.
And it
Um,
becomes unrealistic.
and it's unrealistic. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, what is your take on it, Kelly?
So I really don't like New Year's resolutions because I feel like, especially as a trainer, I feel like people go super hard in January and then they give up. It's not so much making a change. It's just like going, 100 miles an hour and then they tap out. They can't do it anymore. And I think that's a lot with a lot of resolutions, with a lot of things, not just working out or getting in shape. It's we make it so that it's so overwhelming and so time consuming that we don't actually make a change. It becomes overwhelming. So
I
I
agree.
like to look at it as like changing tiny little things or making little changes in your lifestyle to make it healthier or better or whatever your goal might be, like some tiny habits. Um, I'm just not a big fan of resolutions.
I absolutely agree. I feel like resolutions are, like I said, I think it's good for some people because they thrive on that.
Right.
They thrive on, having a goal or a resolution. But there's so many that I think set unrealistic goals. And I think that's the key word here,
Yeah.
unrealistic. I
Yeah.
think setting smaller, easier tasks that you can accomplish for yourself, something that absolutely would fit into your everyday life, is so key. I also feel it builds your confidence. Like the
Oh,
more
absolutely.
that you accomplish each of those things, the more that you're going to feel better about yourself. It's going to just raise that confidence so much and going, yeah, I did that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But you're building those habits too,
Exactly.
those
And
healthy
it's changing
habits.
them like a little bit at a time. Like if you've ever read the book Tiny Habits or Atomic Habits, they're two fantastic books about starting little habits. But the greatest thing about them is like the message is tying it to something that you already do. Like if you want to um like hold plank for a minute, let's say. So you tie it to something like, okay, my alarm went off, I get up and I hold plank for 30 seconds every day. And if I can do more, I do more, but I at least do that 30 seconds or a minute or whatever it is. But you're tying it to something you already do. Or I'm brushing my teeth, I'm going to do 10 squats. Um,
Mhm.
but just tying it to something you already do becomes a habit, just like you leave your medicine by your toothbrush so that you take it in the morning
Yes.
or things like that. It's
Yeah.
how do we do these things that we don't forget them and they become part of our routine? We tie them to something else we already do. And
Mhm.
that's the way you make those changes, like a little bit at a time, instead of it being so overwhelming and being this big change
So when
coming
people
at us at
are,
once.
I absolutely agree. I think tiny habits definitely in smaller changes. So when people go for those
Mhm.
really big changes, like, you know, if you don't have a workout routine established before your New Year's resolution and you
Mhm.
decide that you're going to do that, that's a big change. That's a
Mhm.
hard change. It's not something that
Absolutely.
you can just snap right into. And I think people don't necessarily grasp that or understand that
Right.
concept of how big of a change it really is.
Mhm.
Um, and just taking those small steps into, instead of maybe throwing that routine in every single day, take a smaller step back and say, okay, I'm going to take a class, Tuesdays and Thursdays, or I'm going to go to
Mhm.
the gym 2, 3 days a week, but then maybe
Instead
throw
of 7.
instead of 7, and then throw in like, I'm going to try and carve out, 10, 15 minutes to walk outside
Mhm. Absolutely.
every day.
Mhm.
Smaller things that you can accomplish every day, like those 10, 15 minutes, take a moment to
Right.
yourself, to ground, to breathe, to meditate, to take a walk. Those things are going to be hugely beneficial, and they're going to help you stay focused and be able to take that gym or
Right.
that class or that exercise routine to a longer length of time. Like,
Mhm.
you'll be able to do it more and for a longer period of time.
Right. And I think when you get out there, like the walking 10 to 15 minutes a day, it makes you more motivated to do those 2 gym days,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
and to keep it going. It's not so you're not by the end of the week, you're not like, oh, I can't move. And then the next week you don't do anything. And then it's so hard to get back into it. And you
Hmm.
fall down that little spiral.
Yeah.
But taking it slow and building those habits instead of just
Yes.
expecting them all to, yourself to do them all at once at the beginning of the year.
Exactly. And I love like the let's do this, go get it, and that really, aggressive, like motivated attitude
New
and
year, new
approach.
you.
Yeah, right. And it's awesome and it makes you feel good, right? But I don't think that's the approach that you should just jump in, grab the heaviest weights, grab the, the most
Right.
complicated thing that you can do and just force yourself into it. Take, listen to your body, take a moment, listen to yourself, really dig deep and say, okay, what is going to be my challenge at this very moment?
Right, exactly. For this season in my life, for this
For this season in my life,
time.
yes,
Yeah,
for this time, start there and then build yourself up and say, okay, in a month, I want to, do this. In 2 months, I want to, be able to do
right.
10 push-ups or 5
Yeah, like
pull-ups or
set the
whatever.
smaller goals that you can build on throughout the year. And it's not just, I have to get to this big goal. Like, let's break it down into those smaller things to
Right.
get there for sure.
And the comparisons to others. Like, we really got to stop comparing
I
ourselves to
know.
others,
We
which
really do.
it's so hard because you have all of these, and especially in our industry, you
Mhm.
know, I can help you lose weight. I can help you be stronger. I
A
can
new
do
year,
this,
a new you. Lose 20
new,
pounds this year.
yes, yes, do this, do that. I did it. You
It
can
all.
too.
Yes,
So-
exactly. You
and
get bombarded in January.
you totally get bombarded. And that's great. And again, can work for some people, but not for everyone. And I think it's really, I like to look at the new year as taking a step back, really looking into the inside,
Yeah,
really looking within me and finding what I would like to focus on for the new year,
right.
where I need to grow or where I would like to grow into.
Mhm.
What could
Or
I
improve.
learn
Yeah.
about myself, about others, about anything and everything that I
Mhm.
can, instead of focusing on the, recreating myself or reinventing
Right.
whatever. Um, I would rather just accept and love what I have grown and then continue from there.
Exactly. And if you read my blog when I wrote about this too, I decided that this year, instead of resolutions, I was choosing a couple words that I really want to focus on this year. So my 2 words were love and curiosity. And I felt like love kind of describes so many things, learning to love myself more,
Mhm.
learning to be open to love more and not always so worried about strings attached, and just really focusing on showing my family how much I love them. And then I felt like curiosity was just such a good one. Like, I'm curious as to what is my body telling me? why am I doing this? What is my purpose? Um, and just being curious altogether. That's where we learn. And I think that that would be, for me, some great things to kind of think about all year long, and hopefully will help me
I
grow.
love that. I absolutely love that. And you're right. Curiosity, I feel like it's such a strong word, but it's such an amazing word because
Yes.
it's just learning and growing and allowing yourself to be open to that, to
Mhm.
be open to change, to be open to learn and grow. I think such a huge, important thing, especially in this coming year. I feel
Yeah.
like we all could learn some curiosity.
But
Lead
I
with
think
that
if
curiosity.
yes, exactly. But I think if we take the um the thoughts and the feelings that come with resolutions of I have to give something up, or I have to make myself better, or I have to there's so much like negative connotation with resolutions, at least to me. And so
Yes.
trying to find a more positive way to say,
Mhm.
I want to make this year better, or here's where I want to grow this year, like you're talking about, I think just finding a way,
Exactly.
whether it's finding words or intentions or goals that you can break down into smaller goals, but turning it into a positive thing instead of a resolution that by February you're like, "Oh, I screwed that up," you know?
I think that's the thing, like, I really feel like at the end of the year, um, I don't wanna look back and say I failed or I did
Right.
horrible or why didn't I do this or why didn't I do that?
Mhm.
Instead, I'd rather focus on, wow, look at what I did accomplish. Look at how
Right.
I grew. Look at all the things and memories that I made with my family and my friends. Those are the things I'd rather focus on and love and accept those.
Yes.
But then move forward. And it's also something that, I've been talking about with you is every day taking those steps forward. Like the path in
Mhm.
front of us might be windy, it might be up and down hills, it might be
Never very
all over the
straight.
place. Right, it's never straight, but our bodies, our feet, everything is just moving forward. And I feel
Right.
like that curiosity comes into play.
Mhm.
You just got to live in those moments and you got
Yeah.
to allow yourself, accept yourself in those moments, but allow yourself to process it
Mhm.
and grow from there. So I would rather have that and be in that space instead of the I failed or I'm
Right.
miserable. And
Look
so
what I
now
learned,
I
look how
want
I
to
grew.
right. And so now I want to recreate myself or
Right.
change myself. It's like,
Exactly.
let's not go there. Let's focus
Right.
on those more positive outlooks and aspects because I feel like there's too much negative.
Yeah, and I think when you change that mindset to a growth mindset of I can grow instead of fixed mindset of I can't do it, that
Mhm.
growth mindset changes so much in your life. Um, as far as your perception of things, your experience of things, your mood, your emotional stability, just
Mhm.
being open to being curious and growing
Yeah.
is going to make the year so much better because there's not like these
Absolutely.
expectations of I have to do. You know,
Mhm. Mhm.
it's more of like, how can I be better? What can I do every day to take those steps forward? And just think about that perpetual moving forward every day.
Yes. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's gonna be my words moving forward. I'm just gonna
I
keep moving
love it. Just
forward.
keep moving forward. That's all we can do. One foot in front of the other, girl.
Yes, because that's really all you can do. It's what we should do. I mean, again, paths are never straight. Life is never not full of obstacles
And
and
every
other
season's
things.
different.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
season's different for sure, for
Whether
sure.
you're in the season with like little ones running around, or
Mhm.
Yvette and I looking at colleges with teenagers, or, I have two adult children too. So it's these weird seasons. And
Yes.
then you've got the middle school seasons and the elementary season, wherever you're at, whatever season you're living in, there's always something positive and there's always some way to move forward and grow and be curious and just accept yourself and love yourself.
Exactly. Exactly, exactly. So one of a quote that we found that I absolutely loved was don't wait until you've reached your goal to be proud of yourself. Be proud of every step you take toward reaching that goal. I
Even the
just,
little steps.
I love that
Me
because
too.
it's true. It's being in the moment.
Mhm.
It's being proud of yourself. It's encouraging yourself to just keep going. You're doing a good job because you are. As
Yeah.
long as you're giving it your best, you're trying, you're moving forward, you're doing a great job.
And some days are harder than others, and that's why we're here for each other.
Yes. Yes. And that is key too. Like we're here for each other, right? Kelly and I are
Yes,
here to empower you and each other and to let you know, like, you've got this. You
yes,
can do it.
absolutely. You're strong and you're capable and you're beautiful inside and out, and every step forward makes a difference. So we're hoping that we start this new year off in a positive, hopeful, curious, moving forward way.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
And if you want to join Yvette and I on Saturday, the 21st, 8:30 Pacific time, 11:30 Central time, we're going to do another class. We're going to work on posture a little more,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And go ahead,
Connecting with gratitude.
connecting. There you go. That was the word I was looking for. And you can sign up on matchabar.com under special events, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And so we'd love to hear from you. Let us know what you want to talk about. Let us know what's on your mind. And you can email us at pinktopsandsweaters.com or
At Gmail.
pinktopsandsweaters@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And we hope to see you in class soon.
Yes, please join us. Take care, everyone.
Happy New Year.